I'm back. You alright? Man, nothing beats a day of working on my car, eating greasy bacon, and coming home to play with my anime figures.
Which figure should I play with first? Kana's pretty cool. I mean, she's a classic. No. Should include the Dragon Lolly. Shimakaze, now there's a cool character. She's like an actual warship, so that might end badly. Oh, what about 10th Anniversary Supersonico? She's looking pretty nice in there. She's all dolled up. It's her wedding night. Probably should leave her be. Man, I just don't know what figure to play with first. Wait, how could I be so naive? The answer was right in front of me the whole time. Miku. Like my great-grandfather used to say, when in doubt, Miku it out. I just reach out here and grab a hold of her. Alright, so that intro was absolutely terrible. Hello everyone and welcome back to a brand new video. Thank you so much for stopping by. Today we are going to be covering a topic that you guys have been wanting me to cover for some time now. A topic that is surrounded in controversy and speculation. So yes, the day has finally come. Today is going to be the day where I show you guys how I clean my anime figures. And as simple as this topic might seem for some people, maybe the seasoned veterans out there of the figure collecting universe, I could definitely see this being overwhelming for the newcomer to this hobby. I know with my first anime figure, I bought it and ran home and put it on my shelf and stared at it all night, and till about a week later I noticed it had a nice little grime and dust layer on it. That was the first time that I realized anime figures need a cleaning too. This video is going to show you guys how to do what I call a basic cleaning, pretty much a complete dust down of all your different figures and the cabinets that you have them displayed on. But I'll also be showing you guys what I like to call an advanced cleaning, where you give the figure a complete bath, wash them down to get rid of some of the worst grime, dirt, dog hair, whatever it might be. Before I start to actually show you guys how to clean and dust and do all that, we need to cover something rather important. And that is going to be the topic of displays. Displaying your figures is probably as important, not only just for the look, how you want your collection to be presented, but also for keeping them clean and organized as well. I think a lot of us will buy a figure or two and enjoy the hobby, and next thing we know we have 5 or 6 figures hanging off our night shelf covered in dust and dog hair, until we realize we need some sort of display to actually present them and also preserve them. And I like to break down display cases into 3 main categories. Number 1, I like to dub the, oh shoot, I spent all my money on my figures and now I have no money left over to actually display them case. And this is typically where you'll see collections on night shelves, on desks, on bookshelves, on shelves like you see here behind me. These are not completely ideal ways of displaying your collections, but they get the job done. The worst thing about these types of cases is they are dust magnet. It seems like in my experience, no matter what I do, these cases always have some sort of dust layer on them, no matter how frequently I clean or dust or spray or whatever it might be. The second category of display cases I have dubbed the I've realized the error of my ways and am now using glass cases. Glass cases, cabinets, whatever you want to call them, are probably one of the more ideal ways to not only preserve your collection, but make it look as badass as possible. Glass cases, like the one beside me here, are pretty much completely sealed, so they let in very little dust, very little grime, and they keep fingerprints off of your figures themselves. They also just look very organized. They present your figures in literally the best possible way. The last category of cases are going to be the god level cases, the ones you see on my figure collection that, that literally look amazing. These cases can cost a couple $1,000s a piece, so unless you got a lot of bread, you're probably going to be in one of the first 2 categories. I bring up displays though because it's very important to plan your collection. If you do plan on getting 5+ more anime figures and you want to show them off and preserve them in the best possible way, you probably should invest in some sort of display case for them. But that's enough about display cases. Let's move on to the actual cleaning. In front of me here are going to be some of the tools that I use to clean my anime figures, especially for the basic cleanings that I do about once a week or so. These are going to be the tools that I use to get dust and light grime off my figures. Probably the ones that I use the most of out of these are going to be the makeup brushes, which I have in couple different sizes for different styles or sizes of figures. And as embarrassing it is for me to go out and purchase these, they actually work extremely well. The next thing that I use more for the bases and the actual display cabinets themselves is going to be some sort of duster. I got a little Swiffer here, but there's several different kinds of these, anywhere from a feather duster to a Swiffer to who knows? Get yourself one of these. You're going to need it. Q-tips. These work very well, more for grime or working over really small, delicate areas on the figure. Don't use them a lot, but they're nice to have. Canned air. The man, the myth, the legend. Usually what I use canned air for is to get dust out of tight areas that I can't reach with these other tools, or to just get it off the display cabinet itself. Personally, I have never seen any research or testing done to show that canned air is harmful for your figures and the paint and all that, but use it at your own discretion. If you're not comfortable using canned air, then don't use it. I use a vacuum too, just to get the rest of the dust off the cabinets. It's kind of nice to have, so yeah. Alrighty, so there is a few of the different tools that I use to clean my anime figures, so let's clean some. Alright, so for demonstration purposes, we are going to use this Sega Hatsune Miku figure. Rather inexpensive figure, but cute little Miku figure nonetheless. And as you guys can see, she got a little bit of dust on her, a little bit of grime. Hasn't been cleaned in a few weeks, so nothing too crazy. Nothing that a light dusting can't take care of. So for something super basic like this, I'm really just going to rely on the makeup brush. Usually what I'll do is I'll start at the top of the figure and work all the way down, just dusting it off with the brush, getting all those smaller, hard to reach areas, get her face, work over the hair. I'll use a larger brush as well to work over the clothing area, just because it's kind of larger open areas that it does really well in. And there we go, a couple minutes of using the makeup brush, and the figure itself is looking much better. So we're pretty much done, at least with the figure itself. Now what I'll do is I'll take the good old Swiffer and I will clean off the base real quick. I'll kind of work that over, just because any of that dust that fell off the figure onto the base, I just don't want to put that straight back on the cabinet. And there we go, that's what I would call a basic cleaning. Miku is looking much happier, much cleaner, and is almost ready to go back on the shelf. So overall, that was pretty easy, pretty straightforward. But I can already hear a whole bunch of you guys down in the comments saying that was too easy, it wasn't dusty enough, that figure looked brand new. So let's step things up just a little bit more. This is Shimakaze. Not only is this Shimakaze figure larger than the Miku, but it is more detailed, as more small parts and pieces. Her hair is more detailed. Pretty much this is a kind of figure that if you left out, it's gonna get dusty. But still looks pretty good, huh? Not too bad, pretty clean. Well, let's fix that real quick. Let me just sprinkle in just a little bit of dust here. I'm like the salt guy. Remember that meme? So as you guys can see, Shimakaze's not looking too good anymore. Oh, rip my allergies, guys. Oh my gosh. So how would I approach this, something this dusty? A figure that's been sitting on a bookshelf for months and hasn't been touched, and is this covered in dust and hair and who knows what? Well, I'm actually gonna do it the easy way. And this is the easy way, you guys. Look, I can sit there with the makeup brush or Q-tips and try to clean every single nook and cranny of the figure, but that could take hours on a figure that's very detailed. Or I could take 10 minutes and just give it a bath real quick. So let's do that. First thing you want to do is get lukewarm water. Not hot, not cold, somewhere in between. All right, so we got lukewarm water. Now all we have to do is carefully, be careful. Do not break your figures, and then blame it on me. Carefully take our figure and just run it under the lukewarm water. All right, so that's looking much better already. I'm gonna go ahead and just set it on the towel here that I got laid out. And that's really it, you guys. Quick rinse under lukewarm water, let it sit on a towel for a couple hours until it's dry. You can pat it dry if you want, and you're good to go. Takes about 1/10 of the time it would normally take me using a makeup brush, and it turns out, in my mind, just as good. Oh my gosh, what I do for you guys. So that's pretty much a basic cleaning, at least for the figure side. Dusting with a makeup brush or a Swiffer, something like that, should take care of about 90% of your figures. If they do need a little bit of extra cleaning, just run them under some lukewarm water for a couple minutes, let them sit out to dry, pat them dry if you need to, and you should be good to go. For cleaning your display cases, I usually approach it by first getting all of my figures or manga, whatever it might be, off the case itself, then using some sort of Swiffer or feather duster, getting all that dust off the shelves, using canned air if I need to clean out the corners, and it's pretty much good to go. If it's really dusty, I'll use a vacuum towards the end to help vacuum up any of the dust that might have went down to the bottom shelves from the dusting. But pretty simple. However, this video would not be complete without me showing a more advanced technique of cleaning your figures. A technique that shows you guys how to clean figures in the worst possible condition. The issue with this is I didn't really have a figure that was in bad condition. I try my best to keep my figures in as good a condition as I can. But then it dawned on me. Do you guys remember the fake bootleg Kana figure from the video I did, couple months ago that seemed somewhat popular? Well, I didn't until I was going through my closet one day and realized I hadn't thrown it away at some point in my life. And I think that bootleg Kana has decided to volunteer to go for a little bit of a mud bath. Poor bootleg Kana doesn't even know what's about to happen to her. So yeah, here is bootleg Kana. So we're actually gonna go outside now, and we're going to get this figure pretty dirty, and we're going to do an advanced cleaning on it. So let's go, guys. Yeah, outside. Table out of here. Okay, so I've realized that where I live, there's no mud or anything. So we're gonna take a quick drive, probably to my parents or something. And yeah, see if we can't get this figure pretty dirty. All right, yeah, let's go for a drive, you guys. To my parents, probably, because they probably have mud. All right, we made it. Go ahead and just turn that off. I feel like I'm forgetting something though. Oh my God, get back. All right, so obviously I want to get this figure as dirty as possible just for demonstration purposes, but it is still Kana at the end of the day, even though a very much fake and cheap and awful Kana. And I think we should all still remember that. I will give as much respect to this figure as possible going forward. Not good enough. We need dirtier. All right, we're getting closer. Kiki! Ah! Now we'll just leave it to bake for a while. No, don't do it. It's toxic. It'll kill you. No. That's a sad looking Kana right there. All right, you guys. It's been a few days since me and bootleg Kana went for our nice Sunday drive, and she's not looking too good. But don't you worry. Nobody freak out. We have the technology. We can rebuild her. I mean, I hope I can, or this video is going to end on a pretty sad note. So the first thing that you guys are going to want to do is get yourself a bowl or a piece of Tupperware and fill it up with lukewarm water. Remember, lukewarm, not hot, not cold. Lukewarm. Depending on how grimy the figure is, you can definitely put in a little bit of some sort of mild soap, Dawn, something like that, to help kind of break down the dirt or grime. It's not necessary, but a teaspoon won't hurt anything. Remember, only do this for figures that are PVC or scale figures that don't have any sort of adhesive or stickers or decals on them. Don't do it on your Hatsune Miku Good Smile Racing Figmas. That won't turn out well. Once the bowl is ready, go go ahead and just dump the figure in there. And usually I wait about 10-15 minutes or so, just enough time for me to finish a peanut butter Pop-Tart. Once the figure has completed its soak, you should already see some sort of difference, but go ahead and give it a nice little rinse in some running water. Keep it lukewarm, and definitely don't turn up the water pressure too much. You don't have to use the jet function on your faucet head. It's not necessary. Once the figure has soaked and has gotten a little bit of a bath, I'll go ahead and use some sort of Q-tip, cotton swab, something along those lines to start working any of the dirt out of the nooks and crannies. I don't recommend using any sort of towel just because it's going to leave little fibers and fuzz all over the figure. So using something like a Q-tip or even like a plastic pick to work the dirt out of the corners is going to be most beneficial. Okay, so admittedly, did it turn out as clean as I hoped for? Not quite. But from being a literal mud ball covered in dog hair and who knows what else, to being in this condition, I would say that's a pretty darn good attempt. But yeah, that is going to do it for this video, you guys. Hopefully you learned something. I know I had a lot of fun making it, and I learned a lot along the way as well. Quick couple of announcements like I normally do at the end of my videos. Number one, Discord is up, link is in the description, so if you want to hang out with a whole bunch of cool people, definitely come check us out. Number two, P.O. Box is still open. That will be in the description as well, so if you guys want to send something to be in the next Weeb unboxing, then yeah, check out the description. All my other social media and links and everything else is going to be in the description as well, so if you guys do have any questions, definitely check there. You guys will have to comment too on the ways that you clean your figures, because I'm always open to learning new ways. While making this video, I actually started using the sponge to clean the Kana figure, and it actually worked out really well, so I learned something already. Alrighty guys, I am not going to drag out this video any longer. It is already ridiculously long, so thank you for watching. I do appreciate every single one of you guys, and I will catch you all in the next video. Peace.